are flying 500 feet above the city of Laredo, Texas, epicenter of the Biden-Harris border crisis. We're about to take this helicopter here, once a part of the U.S. Army fleet, 500 feet above the beating heart of the current border crisis. We're about to look above Laredo from north to south. We are flying 500 feet above the city of Laredo, Texas, epicenter of the Biden-Harris border crisis.
They have some of these centers up and down the border where as the migrant surges were happening in Eagle Pass and Del Rio or in the Rio Grande Valley, they would consolidate the migrants and process them, and then the NGOs would take over from that.
Gerry Schwebel runs some of the international relations for the bank, for the businesses that are both here on the American side of the border and across the Rio Grande. But he's also the one flying this helicopter. A Korean War veteran, he's been flying for 50 years.
I go back to 1975. I was flying these babies up in South Korea, and I loved it. It brings back a lot of good memories.
Laredo only has 250,000 people, but millions of square feet of warehouses and container parks sprawl across the American banks of the Rio Grande, as far as we can see.
We got over 40 million square feet that are up, and we're probably going to have, within the next 5 to 10 years, about that much really up, coming up. So this is growth. This is economic vitality. It's growth for the whole North American region, and we're just fortunate to be in a key strategic location for that.
Technology alone cannot compensate for the dramatic demand for commercial trade across the border. Since NAFTA went into effect in 1994, trade between Texas and Mexico has increased by more than 700%, including 60% just since the USMCA took effect.
Below us, you will see the World Trade Bridge, the single largest conveyor of land-borne commercial trade into and out of the United States.
And look at actually from the air, the bridge operations, both the Columbia Bridge and the Solidarity Bridge, and looking at the lines trying to get into the United States and deliver those products basically to warehouses and distribution centers in Texas, Nebraska, North Carolina, Ohio, everywhere, California. And that's jobs. That line itself will run about 5 or 6 kilometers into Mexico. So if you imagine each one of those trucks processing, taking anywhere between, on a good day to non-intrusive inspections, a minute, and multiply that times 1,000 trucks, okay? And you do the math, that's how long it's taken to cross. It's sitting there crossing. And then they're perishables, or they're, like I said, they're products that need to get to a factory because it's just going to be in a delivery for the finished manufacturing process. Then that complicates matters. These are the future projects.
Schwebel's idea to fix the problem? The World Trade Bridge project, adding 2 lanes to the existing bridge and a brand new 8-lane bridge for southbound traffic. An estimated $45 to $50 million investment for 18 total lanes to ease transportation times.
Optimize road. And that's the planning that we have to constantly be doing.
IBC wants the U.S. to work with Mexico and utilize Port Laredo's strategic location as a supply chain hub. The building of the new Bridge 405, which is located 13 miles south of Laredo. Right now, Mexico is building out the MEX 2. IBC wants the U.S. government to build out Loop 20 around Bridge 405, creating the first bi-national loop. But none of this was included in Biden's so-called infrastructure plan.
We need to build our infrastructure the right way, not just build it, but build it the right way.
But this is not just for us down here in Port Laredo. This is for the whole North American continent. That's what people need to understand, that we all play a role that's going to benefit to create jobs in the United States and create jobs in Mexico, create jobs in Canada. And if everybody has a good job, they don't have to move anywhere. They can work where they're at, and have a good lively, experience and quality of life experience.
If you enjoyed this video, it is actually part 3 of our exclusive series on the Laredo economic border crisis. You can watch part 2 here, and watch the entire documentary and read my piece exclusively in the Washington Examiner digital magazine by clicking here. And while I still have you, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you can receive more of our original content.